Welcome to Daily Faith Builder. Happy Wednesday morning. Hope you're well this morning. All week long, we've been looking at this idea of joy and the idea of the joy of unity. And we've been in Philippians chapter 2, and some of the most powerful language, deep theological language that we have in Scripture dealing with Jesus and his movement from heaven to earth, his setting aside, his emptying himself, and his taking on the form of a servant, even though he was the very essence of one with God. And he was obedient, it says, even unto the cross for us. And Paul in chapter 2 says this amazing thing. He tells us that we're to have this mind among ourselves. He told the Philippians, he exhorted them that he wanted them to make his joy complete by having the same mind of Christ. He realized that the only way we could maintain unity was through the humility of Christ. And we can only see Jesus as our joy, the source of our joy, if we take the same course of humility, right, towards Jesus. And this is what provides that space inside our soul, like for joy, the fruit of the Spirit of joy to birth. And so this morning, just ask this big question: does Jesus bring us joy? Does Jesus bring us joy? And really, we should spend some time really drilling down on this and really thinking deeply about that. Does he really bring me joy? And the fact of the matter is unless Jesus is the source of our joy, he can't bring me joy like he wants us to. In John 15:11 again, his promise was his desires to come put his joy, the joy of God, inside us, and that it would overflow. So is Jesus the source of our joy? And does Jesus bring us joy in our life? And that's his desire. And so the only holdback is our own heart and our own soul of allowing that fruit of the Spirit, allowing him to truly be the source of our joy. So the way to evaluate that, I think, is there's many things in life that make us happy and that we'd say, yeah, that brings me joy. Obviously, big things, the birth of a child, you meet your spouse. You could go down the list of big things like these. And the reality is if we have to ask the question, what is the source of joy behind what's bringing me joy? And anything, the Bible, all through the Bible, it speaks about idolatry. An idol is anything that we try to find worth in, find our joy in, more than God himself. And so the process of establishing Jesus as the source of our joy is pursuing him, allowing him to take that place. Always asking the question, rolling back, is what is the source? What's behind bringing me joy? Even on a beautiful day, like here where we live, right? If it's a powder day or something, we feel joyful out there in the midst of that powder day. Well, is it the powder day, or is it Jesus, the one who created, the one who allows me to, I have to watch my soul and see what is it that I obviously delight in ultimately. And am I able to have delight in that powder day, being out in God's creation, but have that lead me to the source of my joy, and my real focus be right on Jesus? The last thing to say on this real quickly is this idea of crucifixion. And I just want to leave you with this big question it's kind of rocked me a little bit, is how dear to me is the cross of Christ? How dear is the cross of really understanding and taking time to meditate and study what Jesus has actually done for us on the cross. This movement from heaven to the cross for me, for you, to save us and to instill joy in us. And the cross, again, as he's writing this to Philippians, anyone in that era, the cross was this horrific way of death the Romans came up with to actually humiliate and shame someone terribly. And if you're a Roman citizen, you couldn't be crucified. The Jews, somebody who was crucified, considered that person cursed by God. And to realize that Jesus went and was obedient to come and to follow the will of the Father as a path that we're to follow in, and all the way to the cross, the most shameful thing, so that we wouldn't be cursed, so that we wouldn't have to carry our shame and carry our guilt. To do all that for us is an overwhelming thing, and it takes a lot of time to really let that settle right in our soul. Last passage to leave you with here is this is in 1 Corinthians, and just to hear Paul speak again about the cross for himself, says, "For the word of the cross is folly, foolishness to those who are perishing, but to those who are being saved, it is the power of God." It's the power of God. And I just leave that with you. Is the cross in your life, do you see it as the power of God? It's the avenue. What Jesus did with his death, his burial, his resurrection is what's made the way. His defeat of death, defeat of the power of sin, has allowed for your life and my life for us to enter into abundance and to live the life, right, that Christ has called us to. Hope you have a wonderful day. God bless.